Hello and welcome to iNtoColumbus. I'm Jasmine Jones.
And I'm Mark Madden.
We have a full show for you today as we'll introduce Judd Richardson, the owner of Fountain City Coffee.
And we'll be introducing visiting artist Yeon Jin Kim, as well as showcasing her artwork. And we'll be having Al Woodall take us back in time with his own Columbus Lunchbox Museum. And it's all on iNtoColumbus.
Fountain City Coffee is a place recognized by uptown locals. But what makes it special? Is it the coffee, the muffins, the atmosphere? All these things are true, but there's something else that makes it truly special.
Definitely. Every Thursday evening, Fountain City Coffee showcases local talent in the Columbus area by having open mic night. Now, the host Brian Mallard spoke with us and he shared insight into how it contributes to the community.
I'm going to go ahead and start bringing up some folks because this is all about spotlighting the talent here in the Valley area, and we want to get to that as soon as possible.
It's alright.
I've been a musician around town for about 10 years now, and I've played around various open mics, and I've hosted a few around town, some that no longer exist. And then I started coming down to Fountain City as a player. But it is an honor for me to be able to be a part of something for people to either come in and work out their guitar skills or to come in and get their feet wet for the first time. And I love working with these people. It's just a wonderful job. I will say that Fountain City is not only a friendly place, they're very professional, very friendly, and they have a very high quality product. The coffee, the food is high quality food. It's very good, it's delicious. And it's just a very friendly atmosphere. It's family friendly, but like adults coming in don't feel weird being in it because it's so family oriented. It really is a melting pot of artists and businessmen and all walks of life in Columbus, Georgia.
Owner of Fountain City Coffee, Judd Richardson, is in the studio to give us more insight on the coffee shop. Thanks, Judd, for coming to the show.
Thank you very much for having me here.
So tell us, how did you become the owner of Fountain City?
Well, I got hired there about 9 years ago as a barista, and the barista is the person behind the counter making you your delicious cup of coffee. I soon became the roaster, and that's the person that roasts all the green beans that come in that make the coffee for you. Then I became a manager, and eventually when the owner had to leave to go to Wisconsin, I bought the business from him.
That's cool. So we just figured out what a barista was recently, so that's cool that you were able to explain it.
I'm not afraid to admit that. So what makes Fountain City Coffee different from all the other coffee shops that are in Columbus?
I think that's two things. One, we roast all of our own beans for our specific coffee shop. And two, our employees are really fantastic, unique people. And I think that separates us.
And I know we'll actually have one of your employees come in and perform later.
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
Yeah. So tell us, what about your video, the Western coffee video?
Our Espresso Western is a commercial we came up with. The idea was that of Matt Thompson's, who was a barista at the coffee shop, to do a 30-second silent spaghetti Western. And instead of it being a shootout, it would just be a latte would be made.
That's really clever.
Well, I mean, we keep talking about the video, so why don't we just go ahead and watch it? Here's the thing I'm curious about. Okay, everybody's telling me it's different, and you are the owner, and you're telling me how different it is. What stood out to me was earlier you mentioned that your baristas are also unique people, and that reflects the shop itself. How are they unique?
I think that one part of owning a business is finding employees that can, one, work well with your personality, and two, work well with the personalities of the people that come in. Yeah. You need to find people that are willing to think outside of the box and not just be comfortable in the norm. Mm-hmm. And I think that I've gotten pretty good at doing that.
So what is the environment if you say not the norm? So tell us about the environment.
Not the norm for Columbus. I think we're going for more of a bohemian artsy vibe, but just enough nerdiness in there to keep it interesting.
Nerdy's good.
Indeed.
So what's next for Fountain City?
Right now I'm working on growing our roastery side of things, because since I do roast my own coffee, I can do a lot of wholesale stuff. We recently got into Country's Barbecue. You can buy our coffee at Dinglewood also.
Wow. That's really good. We appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much.
An important part of Uptown Columbus is the art and entertainment. There's a special event that takes place every year in Uptown Columbus called Art Beat. Art Beat takes place from March 13th to March 28th, so here's your sneak peek.
Art Beat really began in 2011 with a Bo Bartlett walk downtown. From that, the 2012 Sculpture Walk was adopted and really grew to become Art Beat. During the Sculpture Walk, we decided it would be great to have lots of other activities going on, and so we took that 2-week period and incorporated many types of art forms. And we're now in our 3rd year of Art Beat Columbus. It's designed to really bring a lot of different art forms together. It involves arts organizations, those interested in art, schools, individuals. And when we say arts, we mean really performing arts, the visual arts, literature, anything that is going to stimulate the creativity of our community. Probably the strongest component of Art Beat is the collaborative efforts. It's an effort, and I think a successful one, to bring lots of different groups together who all have a common purpose: to entertain, to stimulate, to create, and to invite people to engage and participate in the arts. So far, we've been very successful in doing that. We really try to develop programs that are good for children, good for teens, good for young adults, and certainly other adults will enjoy it also, and maybe family activities. Most of the events are free. This year we have our subtitle as Arts on the Water, and on the water we mean the whole community is on the Chattahoochee for us, so on the river, on the water, and on the Chattahoochee. That also will encompass not only Columbus, but Phoenix City, and it'll be a roundabout as we think of the community as a whole. When we create projects and support projects, we're looking for innovative ideas and activities that will be something new, something different. Right now, you can go to our page on Facebook and look at what's developing and things that are happening as we build the 2-week festival. ArtBeatColumbus.org is our website, where we'll also have posted information. As programs are approved and are listed, we'll have those there. Those are the best tools to use to stay in touch with what's going on and what's yet to come in Art Beat Columbus 2014.
We have a special visiting artist from Korea who was selected to teach animation and showcase her exhibit at Columbus State's Art Gallery. Check out the amazing work of Yeonjin Kim and her mastery of 3D animations.
I am here as a visiting artist for 1 semester at CSU. It's a huge difference actually being here, because we don't really have a huge space in New York City. It's very tiny. So having my work here and seeing it in a big scale gallery is a very different experience I have. I never was able to show my work this way or this way. I was never able to put my models in one long linear line either. So it's like somehow having my dream realized in a way. And yeah, it has been great. The spaceship grocery store took me exactly a year, and then Train Piece took me about 4 months. But that time I was working like 12 hours a day or 10 hours a day. So I just was working on my project. Many of them are coming from many different sources of my dreams, but when I put them into a narrative, I kind of collage them, but I also add real elements, like the real experience that I had in real life. My favorite piece is Xenomia for now, because it's the most recent piece, and then I had really fun making it too. The others, there are a little bit of painful moments making it, but Xenomia has been really fun making it, and I haven't finished yet actually, so it's still going on. I was coming from a very traditional sculpture background, and I took a drawing class, and then at graduate program at Hunter College, and professor made all the students to do a drawing. So I had to make a drawing. I never made drawing before very seriously, so it became a big part of my practice, taking that class, and then I was always interested combining different practices together, different medium together. That's why I was making video installation. I was as having sculptural background and then video elements, putting them together, I wanted to create some other new genre. When people are talking about animation, they think about like really high production quality, Hollywood, like Pixar, Disney. You know, they expect something like the computer-generated images. But animation, what I make is very low-tech, handmade. There's no computer process here. There's no computer-generated images at all here. Not that I hate it, it's just that's how my work process works. So basically, animation can be a very simple thing to do in terms of art.
Yeonjin Kim will be here until May, so make sure you check out our exhibit and the Ilgis Gallery at CSU's River Park campus. We'll be back right after this.
You know, something you don't see or hear about every day is metal lunchboxes. But surprise, there's a museum right here in Columbus filled with them.
That's right, Alan Woodall, the owner of the Lunchbox Museum, went from enjoying collectibles to collecting over 600 lunchboxes.
I started off collecting lunchboxes as pop art Americana because of the art on the lunchboxes, on the old metal lunchboxes. And this is back in the 80s, in the 1980s. So a group of mothers down in Florida got together and said, these things are dangerous weapons. So they went to the state and to the, congressmen, they went to everybody, and they've got them outlawed. That was in the early 80s. And so Rambo was the last metal lunchbox. It started in Florida, and it went all over the country. Every state they banned metal lunchboxes. Lunchboxes, I would say, is one thing that is a good, solid investment as far as a collectible, because they really would be really hard to counterfeit an original.
Earlier in the show, we took a closer look at Fountain City Coffee. And now to close out tonight's episode of iNtoColumbus, we have none other than Nolan Temple, who works and performs at Fountain City Coffee.
realizing more each day. Life is nothing but decay. I'm gonna eat my vegetables and play outside. Man, I oughta know by now that you and me, yes, we are foul, decomposing from start to finish line. Gonna eat my vegetables and play outside. I'm gonna eat my vegetables and play outside. Can't we see, or are we blind? Deaf and dumb or numb and high, dressing up in a new suit and tie, sacrificing blood and sweat to work all day and hold our breath to pay the bills, but not the debt, not quite. Oh, we don't need what's being sold, loaded with rot, dampened and mold, consuming culture slaughtered by so-called swine. I'd rather take a walk around the lake because it's necessary to escape. Reality is consciously confined. I'm gonna eat my vegetables and play outside. I'm gonna eat my vegetables and play outside. I'm gonna eat my mushroom clouds, broccoli trees, mashed potato mountains. Boy, I am sure one hungry sentient beast. Go try your best to test your mind. Make progress only to find out money isn't relevant to time. But who am I to ridicule? Just another ego-tripping, hypocritical fool. Ignorance is blissfully bright. Now that I'm realizing more each day, life is nothing but decay. I'm gonna eat my vegetables and play outside. So go play outside.
Thank you so much, Nolan.
No problem.
I love that song. I remember you doing it at the open mic concert.
Yeah.
So tell me, what is it about? How did you get a chance to write it? What inspired you?
Well, basically, I wrote the phrase "eat my vegetables and play outside" down, and then I just kind of did it from there. But I had those the verses and everything written 6 or 7 months ago, so I kind of just I just kind of finished it up. But yeah, I'm usually very quick with songwriting, but this song it took me a while.
So I know you're a CSU student. Tell me more about your major and how it's kind of helped you with your songwriting.
Right. Well, right now I'm an English language and literature major, but I might switch to creative writing so it can help me with my songwriting. But eventually I'd like to write stories that coincide with the songs that I write, kind of make a like a little ballad, epic type of thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, and open mic at Fountain City. I know that you guys have open mic and you work there. Tell me about the environment there.
Well, it's very laid back for the most part. It's a very cool place to work and hang out at. And the open mic's really fun itself. Usually I play whenever I get a chance during the shift that I'm working, and even if I'm not working, I'll show up there and play a song or 2 or 5, depending on what they ask.
So show me a little something on the guitar. I'm not familiar with it.
Well, the song I just played, this is a pretty standard chord progression. It's just a E major to an F major to a G major, back to an F, then to an E again, and then you switch to an A, and then a G. And that's pretty much all that I do is just play simple bar/open chords depending on where the capo is.
Well, it works for sure. Thank you so much for coming out.
problem.
And hopefully
Thank you.
we'll have you out again.
Right on.
Thanks to all our special guests, and thanks for watching.
That's all for iNtoColumbus. We'll see you next time.